Good afternoon. On behalf of the Symbiosis University of Applied Sciences Indore, the School of Automation and Robotics welcomes you to the webinar series and the series number 2. Today we have with us Mr. Manoj Modi, sir. Mr. Modi is the Managing Director and CEO of CastNX, a company which specializes in power electronic solutions such as variable frequency drivers, inverters, power converters. With extensive experience in the field, he is recognized as a technocrat deeply involved in advancing motion technology and sustainable energy systems. Under his leadership, CastNX has undertaken significant projects, including a high-speed drive development initiative in collaboration with the Foundation of Science, Innovation and Development at IISc Bangalore, which was supported by the Ministry of Heavy Industries, the Government of India. The company recently inaugurated its new design center in Indore, marking a milestone in its journey towards innovation and excellence in the motion technology. Welcome, Modi sir. We are honored to have you with us, and we are really glad you took out your time out of your busy schedule in talking to our participants. So looking into today's scenario where the entire industry is moving towards robotics, having a recent example of Indo-Pak War and the industrialization 4.0.
Yeah.
We wish to understand how our students can take benefits of robotics, automation, AI, ML, and all these factors. So you already have so much of experience in the industry. We would like to hear from you. How do you think this industry is moving, and how do you think the students should take it forward? So
So first of all, I'm thankful to you and your entire team of Symbiosis who invited me for this webinar, and I was very excited after seeing the topic of a smart automation, use of AI into robotics and what different type of robotics and all. So I was very keen to address that because nowadays it has become a lot of people are using as a jargons, and then many people are not aware about what it is, and then how industries are getting benefited using robots, AI, IoT, Internet of Things, and then artificial intelligence and all. So there are many things. So maybe what we can do is we can actually, let's start from your question itself, like how are we getting benefited using all those things? Definitely, let's take one by one. So let's take from the robotics. So when you talk about robotics, robotics is not a thing which has just came. It is there from 1960, 1950, or even much before that.
Sir, I think you have a Lord Krishna just behind you. According to me, robotics is since ages when Lord Krishna blessed Sanjay.
Correct. So that's where the virtual machine learning and all those things are there from those days itself. How are we using it in industry? So let's say as on date, if in a mechanical industry who is doing only a job of welding a few parts, let's take only simple example as a small industry who is doing a welding of 2 metal parts, and then olden days, when I'm saying olden days, just consider 5 years ago or 10 years ago. During that time, the welding used to happen manually, and there used to be a lot of error in the this thing. If operator does close to 100 job per day, and then it might so happen at the end of the day, 95 parts are getting approved and then 5 parts are getting rejected during the manual welding. Nowadays, and then time takes also, he will be able to do only 100 parts in his 8 hour of shift. What is happening is use of robots. Nowadays, there are a couple of robots who does welding very nicely, very accurately, and then very fast. So instead of doing 100 parts per shift, the robots can do at least maybe 300, 400, or 500 parts, and with an accuracy of 0 failure. So it's like all the 500 parts are getting passed in one round. So I'm just taking an example of one small MSME industry who is doing only a welding job. So you can imagine cleaning robots like in how offices and all. In olden days, a person used to do the mopping and all. Nowadays, there are machines who's doing it. In future, there won't be a human also will not be required to actually mop the floor. In your college, also mopping will be done automatically.
Yes, yes, yes. We do have an
So
automation system. Now, I truly agree, sir. This automation and robotics, especially, has reduced the human intervention, and it has
yeah,
reduced our time in very laborious and rudimentary work. Rather,
yeah.
I think it has given us time, ample amount of time to put our efforts in quality output.
I wanted to add one thing which you just mentioned in your sentence, that anything which is laborious or repetitive in nature will definitely will get converted into robotics or using an automation. You see that we used to wash our cloth every day,
Hmm.
maybe 30 years back, 40 years back and all. Now also we are washing, but we are not washing to our clothes using a hand. So it was a regular and same repetitive work which is already taken care by washing machine in your home. And washing machine nowadays is also fully automated. Like not only they'll just wash, it is actually they'll dry, and then finally the final cloths are out. Only you have to just put it out for 5 minutes and then you can iron and use the clothes. So
And it's so
what I'm saying,
amazing, sir. It's so amazing to see my automated machine, which is AI enabled. I can tell by Alexa, Alexa, please set a timer for my machine to auto start
yeah,
and auto dry it. So the meanwhile, I get up at 5 in the morning.
yeah,
The coder who has done the work, it is so beautifully embedded with AI ML that the AI ML has automated my entire rudimentary process. And the moment I get up at 5 o'clock, I
yeah,
tell Alexa, Alexa, get my machine started
correct,
and
correct.
wash it till it is auto dry. And it does it. It really, really reduces my unproductive time.
Correct, correct. So one more thing I wanted to add in this, there is a myth behind that whenever robotics comes in picture or whenever artificial intelligence comes in pictures, so then the jobs will go away, and there's a huge fear in many people, uh, especially someone who's doing a repetitive in nature kind of a job, like someone who's doing for let's say an example of department like an human resource department where they are preparing the offer letter and then they are preparing the experience letter, whatever it may be, something which they are doing it day in day out, and then they feel like my job will not be there. If AI can do the preparation of an offer letter, what will I do after that? So my say is, let's not fear it. It's not gonna take out your job, but it might take out of your job if you do not learn to use the AI properly. It will not. I mean, even if the robots comes and all, human element will always be there, and then it is required. Only thing is that instead of fearing out, let's use it. Let's use it in our day-to-day life.
So robotics is usually having the use of AI ML embedded in the robots for the
Hmm.
benefit of the society, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So the benefit in terms of many things. See, first of all, using of robots or artificial intelligence or whatever it may be, uh, when we use it, we save. First thing we save is the time. Second
Correct.
bit, and time is nothing but money. So if we are saving time, we are saving money. So one thing we save time, one thing we become more and more smart and more intelligent to do the same thing faster. If I save my bandwidth on something else, then I can focus on some other productive work which I am not able to do it. So it's always for society. Whenever this kind of thing comes, it brings fear, but it is not to threaten everybody. It is actually betterment for the society. How do you rate yourself, like when you used to do all the filing work without before the invention of computer and all, you used to do all the filing. You used to store all the documents in big files, folders and all, and then keep the documents for 20 in record, and sometime the documents is not out of no document is not available for use, so then you will fear it. But look at now, you have a computer, so it has become an easy. The same fear was there in 20 years, 30 years back, or maybe 50 years back, when people used to say that the moment computer will come, and then the job of the human will go away. But that did not happen. Even the more jobs were created, IT vertical created, computer science vertical created, and more jobs created.
I was reading an article yesterday and I was listening to a lesson from Harvard yesterday. And it said some or the other way the technology comes and people fear that technology will replace the human being. But as per the trend we have observed, the moment technology comes in, it always increases the quality of life. And it
Definitely.
also includes the more amalgamation of technology for the benefit of human. So it has
Yeah.
increased the number of jobs, as you correctly mentioned. It has
Yeah.
also increased the level of understanding, level of education with
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And one fear, sir, one concept clarity which I wanted to give to my students and the parents here is,
Yeah.
they usually have this question, uh, robots are humanoids. No, robots are not humanoids. That is Transformer movie which they have seen. But rather,
Yeah.
the integration of AI ML is there as a final usage in the robotics. It is not just the coding and testing on the cybersecurity, but how it is inculcated in a robot so
Yeah.
that we take that robot for a particular use.
Yeah.
I mean, the cosmopolitan cities like Pune, Bangalore,
Yeah.
we can manufacture the entire building in 4 to 5 months.
Definitely, ma'am. A lot of 3D printer works are there. 3D printing using, making a building using a 3D printer. So
Correct.
that will save time. So you touched upon a point which is also one of the myth, which one myth we address is it's gonna take out your all the jobs and all. The second myth is, whenever the word comes in mind, robots means only humanoids. So it is not true. There are multiple type of robots which is there, which you see. Humanoids is one of them. Only 5% or 10% of that category. Rest 90% are different robots who makes your life easy.
Easy.
For example, let's take what all different type of robots which we see in and around us. So one thing which I started with industrial robot who was doing the your welding job, or maybe the pressing, or making the plates which you use in your breakfast and all, like pressing that plastic. So that is called industrial robots. And industrial robots are essentially doing a repetitive job, maybe packing, maybe shifting from here to there, or maybe doing a welding, or maybe doing some joint, or maybe doing a laser marking, whatever. So it's like same job continuously doing it. That's called industrial robots. Then there are robots which we call it as an AMR, or the AGVs, the automated guided vehicles and all. Like for example, a vehicle which runs inside the factory, who on which we are also, as a CastNX, we are also working. We are working on AGVs. So AGV is essentially an automated guided vehicle, especially used for material management. Imagine you would have seen on your Insta or your LinkedIn or somewhere, you would have seen an Amazon warehouse clips, where how the robots actually, when the metal comes on the conveyor, then how it actually picks the right material and shift to the right container and all. So all those things are different type of robots. And then you would also seen then a lot of rakes. They are lifting the metal and then putting into right rakes. That is called rake type of robots. There are some robots who lift the pallet and shift from one machine to another machine. That's called pallet lifter. There are some robots who engage to the trolley and then take the trolley from one shade of factory to another shade of factory without a human intervention. So that is called, all these things are called AGVs. Then definitely an humanoids who assist elder people. Maybe some people requires humanoid in home to do cleaning things, or maybe giving medicine, or whatever it may be. So those are the different type of robots, for cooking also sometimes.
Right. So you recalled me of one factor, sir, the smart India parking. at the moment we all are moving towards human, what do we say? Concrete jungles.
Yeah.
So in the concrete jungles, there is
Yeah.
hardly any space to park my car in the
Yeah.
office
Yeah.
or maybe in the home or maybe in some common places. So that
Yeah.
smart parking system is also another example, I think, for robotics, which is enabled using AI ML. So I think robotics has become the life. That
It
is
is part of
very
our life, correct?
minimalistic. Even when I went to vacation with my son, so I had to park my car somewhere. There was a small place of, 1,000 square feet and they were parking around 70, 80 cars. So they had this
Yeah.
multiple level parking. So they had that automated robotic system for that smart parking. The moment I
Yeah.
entered inside, they had a smart system. A robot helped me out filling in the entire form. There was no
Yeah.
human intervention required. Then
Yeah.
another robot came, it picked my luggage and put it in the elevator.
Yeah.
The elevator in itself has a sensor. I can say, let's go to fifth floor. It took
Yeah.
me off.
Yeah,
And
it's now working on a voice command instead of giving the pressing a button to going to the fifth floor and all. Yeah.
so imagine if we want to increase the safety, security,
Yeah.
the amount of contribution robotic is making in the industry is immense.
Yeah. Definitely, ma'am. I wanted to add few more points before even we come to the safety, security, and all other point, which we'll definitely discuss in detail. You took an example of a parking. So
Hmm.
it is close to our heart because recently there's a company, Mumbai-based company. For them, we have actually recently designed uh, automated parking system for a very big building, and we did it. And if any of your students wanted to see the prototype of that thing, we can actually demonstrate in our facility.
Lovely.
uh, yeah, so how we have done it, we have used the photo eyes, we have used, and everything we have done without wires. I mean, there was no mesh of wires because that the building which we have done the automation was having a total 5 numbers of floor. Each floor were having close to 50 to 60 number of cars can be parked. And after that, it was the building was totally like 20-25 floor, but 5 floors because it's my small area. So
Hmm.
consecutively 5 floors were available only for parking the cars.
Wow.
And then whenever the employee comes to that building or anyone comes to that building, it is very confusing to go and then park at which place. So the moment you enter into the gate, our system used to show, okay, you go to the third floor and then use M20 number parking, it is empty. It has become
Hmm.
empty. So it is parking is assigned from the time you entered, and it will be available for you. The moment you park there, it is actually, once it is assigned, that number will not be assigned to somebody else. And then when the new car comes or your car goes out, and the moment it goes out of the exit, then that parking will again show as a green to somebody else can come and park.
Wow.
And
I think
the
I don't
beauty,
have to manually search where is the parking space anymore.
not required, and not even person will be actually required to tell you go and park to M20. No, that person is also not required. The moment you scan it, it will show on the dashboard go to M20, and it is auto allocate. Okay, it
Correct.
balance it also. And then the best part was the parking fees which was deducted is not like collected manually like the way you go to a Treasure
Wow.
Island or something in Indore, and then you have to pay that money. It was automatically deducted using your FASTag. That's all. Done. No
That's a
human entry is required.
That's a beautiful concept, I must say. Beautiful concept, I must say. In
Yeah.
fact, nowadays when robot is writing me a lot of things, I was just watching a video yesterday, a few days back, where I was looking how robot has helped a lot of disabled students
Yeah.
who have high intellect, but God forbid, because of some unfortunate reason, they may have lost
Yeah.
a hand or a leg or some other body part. So how that robotic has become a blessing for these kids. I was just watching and I was amused to see the hand was detached from the elbow and
Yeah.
from the the wrist part, and the moment this wrist was being detached and kept on the table, even
Yeah.
when the lady was moving the hand,
Yeah.
the wrist was moving exactly in the sensor.
Yeah.
Beautiful
So
blessing from robotics to the medical industry to a human life.
Yeah. So you have touched upon another area of the different type of sensors for the it will be useful for your students or faculties who works in this area.
Right.
Uh, the way robotics is getting evolved, entire fraternity who manufacture design sensors are getting improvised like anything. Olden days, the sensor, the displacement sensor accuracies were in the order of few mm. Then it has come to 0.1, 0.2 mm. Like I can actually detect some object which is coming in the area of close to 0.1 mm. Now we have few sensor which actually showcase close to a micron, just like 1 micron, 2 micron distance also we can estimate. So how sensor level accuracy has gone, and I'm coming back to that your medical science usage. So because of the advancement of this kind of sensor, your hand movement or whatever you are doing, that movement is actually being detected at because you would have seen in that video one wrist was holding one something, and then the hand was holding something else. So there is a wireless communication. The moment this was having a movement, same got communicated at very fast lightning speed, and then same the movement was also generated. So you will feel like the moment you are moving hand, that hand was also moving. So it has happened only with an advancement of sensors, not only one type, like piezoelectric sensors, your proximity sensors, motion sensors. There are n number of type of sensor which has become very advanced nowadays, and pretty accurate as well.
Exactly, sir. Exactly. Even I was just watching a video towards the medical industry. You mentioned that we can actually detect how far and how close the objects are.
Yeah.
So I was actually looking towards the aviation industry,
Yeah.
where the crafts have started flying on autopilot mode,
Yeah.
and beautiful amalgamation of robotics with sensors again, and definitely it has a contribution. So it was beautiful to see how aviation industry has gone to autopilot, and
Yeah.
then a lot of fly, for example, any bird coming in between, and we can actually reduce the collateral damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
The plane understands, senses the object coming in near, and sensing it truly fast so that we avoid any clashes.
Yeah.
Amazing concept that was.
The same thing is used, ma'am, in the drone segment
Technology.
where, yeah, drone technology, drone segment also. Like first principle of the drone says that whatever you make, it should not harm any animal or anything. Like whenever it is actually flying out, it should detect there is an birds nearby and automatically either change the level of where it is flying, and then or maybe change the direction or change the speed or whatever it may be. But I wanted to mention one point here. I mean, you did mention about the detecting and obstacles and all. So there are two technologies which is very essential for your faculty and your student, which they might read, but they always get confused what to use and what to take it where. So there is something called LIDAR technology and then something called radar. So
Okay.
okay, so there's a LIDAR and there is a radar. So both of the thing can both of this technology can identify the objects in at a different pace and different accuracy and all. But if you are making a material movement robot or a machine which is actually automatically moving somewhere and all, and where there is no camera involved, there is no vision involved, but you wanted to detect an object which is coming in the vicinity of that. For that, uh, there's always a very long debate like whether to use LIDAR or radar. So we have done an extensive work, and then finally in a few days back we have actually published our one white paper also, and then we have clarified that LIDAR is the choice if you are actually going for a metal movement and all. Radar will be the choice if you actually wanted to sense some object in very long distance, and all, and that's where the student get confused, because there are some sensor which is available on radar also and lidar also. So what to use? And sometimes lidars are costly, radars are cost effective.
Correct, correct. So you told me about radar. Now you are giving me so many thoughts. I'm so happy to have this discussion. You're giving the thoughts on radar. So while designing something for, let's say, shooting or hunting, when I talk about the agriculture industry, irrigation. And now these shooting, understanding the radar, having the cow and buffalo entering the irrigated fields, fully yielded fields. Gone are the days it used to happen earlier, that it is a full-fledged yielded irrigation plot. It's irrigated land, and all of a sudden during the night we have a herd moving in, and that destroys the entire irrigation, entire production. So now using these sensors, even the irrigation agriculture industry is getting a lot of benefit. It is again another part of robotics again, I think.
Definitely. You can actually install what you are mentioning is, even I have experienced in my childhood, because I come from a farmer background. So the animal which you are mentioning, I don't know the English name, but we used to call as a Nil guy, and then they used to come in the field and then damage completely. And then morning will feel like so bad. This is damaged complete. Now what to do? So those things can be detected by actually having some sensors, or maybe you can actually do a laser, what you call, laser boundary also without entering that. The moment somebody pass that also, you will come to know. So not even need not to install a sensor on an entire field. Whenever you feel like there is an entry point there, you can actually install some photo sensors or some laser guided these things. The moment that is broken, actually you will come to know, and then you will get alert on your mobile phone if required.
Wonderful. So that actually motivated me to talk about a security as well.
Please, ma'am.
Like people like me who love to, who have no options but have to live in the separate house, and there are so many nuclear families nowadays. Either they're living in the independent home or bungalows or maybe in the flats. So now this robotics has increased our pressure of safety and security somehow. I have the safety security system at my home. It is completely automated. So right from the main gate, a robotic system has been installed. Even it is like a camera, sensor, and there's another robotic tool installed. So now that helps me. Who has come in the home? And if I'm not there, behind me, my son is in the home. So according to my instructions, the robot can understand what next action has to be taken. And through that, I'm like mentally very much relaxed at my workplace. That my family is safe. Technology is taking care. I need to take care of something else.
So I would like to put light in a two different way. One is a positive, another one is a totally negative aspect of it. Let's talk first positive, which you already talked about. Like if there are a lot of cameras installed and then auto lock is installed, the lock which you can actually open it if some visitors are there, and if you want to allow that visitor to get in, then you enable the lock through your mobile phone from a remote location, and all those things are okay. It is getting benefited, and then we are taking benefit out of all that. Let's talk about little something which seems to be scary, but we have to live with it, or maybe we have to make a stringent regulatory system so that this kind of things will not happen. Okay, now the moment you have all those kind of sensors, and you have Alexa at your home, or maybe Google Home or Google Mini at your home and all, so it is actually listening, seeing, and many things of your activity. The moment you talk about, yaar, bahut din ho gaye, let's go somewhere out, let's go to some hill station, and next moment you will actually see Insta ad of Shimla or something.
A list of Pachmadi and hotels, huh? A list of potential hotels and industries and tours and travels I will see.
Yeah, you will see a lot of advertisement on your Facebook or your
Correct.
Insta or maybe on your Google search engine, wherever. So how that information has gone? Because the mics of your phone, mics of your CCTV or your Alexa and all, everything is being listened there. So that is the things we are living. In addition to that, I do not know like how to put that, but I wanted to say, if this kind of sensors are helping us, they are also creating our privacy is on the complete
Endurance.
in the danger hands. So
Correct.
why I'm saying is that will be there. We are not saying let's stop all that and then go back to 20 years back, 30 years back life. But there has to be a stringent regulatory system who says that these are the five major principle of making robots or five principle of doing that. You follow that and then only make a robot. Otherwise, your robot will not be classified as a certified robots, and then only you will be able to sell it in the market. So those things are required from government of India.
I think for that matter, even the companies have started doing the corporate governance. So these things actually come in the purview of ESG. The governance certification is a mandate to check
Yes.
the assurance that with which perspective we created a robot or a technology we developed, is it helping in the same way or it was just a fake promise and it is harming the society? So even the technologies, even the ESG reporting, even the corporate governance, government regulatory bodies, they keep a very stringent check.
Definitely.
And that is
Definitely.
beautiful to see. They again have trained their robots to do so.
Yeah, yeah. So it is, I mean, there are some instances where the tight regulations are there, but there are some instances where the new things are coming in picture, but there are no regulations.
Correct.
So what I'm saying is the way we are progressing very fast in this era of IoT, AI, robotics and all, the regulation also should be very tight so that people should not take an undue advantage of all those things and then trouble some people. That's what I'm trying to say here.
Agreed, sir. Totally agreed. So what? Yes.
Yeah, please continue. You're saying
I
something.
was just giving a thought. I was just reading one article again, it just popped up in my phone. So it was like even the MSME,
Yeah.
the government of India,
Hmm.
the Innovation Council, they are also proactively promoting the intellectual property of the uh, Indian mindset.
Yeah.
Robotic becomes one of the biggest contributor towards
Yeah.
which MSME is funding, Innovation Council is funding, the government of India is funding. And there are so many seed funders who are ready to fund if your idea has that capability of giving back to the society.
Definitely. It's a huge and enormous opportunity available for doing some sort of a startup or any work in that area, which is going to help any domain, whether it is a medical science or an industrial or a humanoid or maybe part of it. It is if you're opening that, and it's a huge subsidy, incentive wise, and then a lot of financial benefits are available to do that kind of work. It's a good area to work, and it's not always how do I put it, whenever let's take an example of olden days and automotive engineering or automobile engineering. So there used to be one, two or three companies, like maybe let's say Tata Motors, maybe Eicher, or maybe Force Motors, or maybe XYZ company. There are three companies which you know the name. To make the cars of these three companies, at least 3 lakhs of different companies are required who's making different parts. So similar way, in case of AI, robotics and all, it's not like only few startups who started will actually lead it. Even if you start now also, there's a huge opportunity, not the full robots, you make the part of it. You make only eyes and then supply it to the company who's using it. So it's better. No need to make the entire system, make subsystem and then sell it.
Wonderful, so wonderful. I recently observed one more brilliant thing. Initially, whenever I used to talk or we used to have a discussion in the society or maybe in the gathering, and even in the academic sector, so when we talked about robotics, it was usually titled as male-oriented work.
Yeah.
But nowadays, having the creativity, the gender perspective has gone out. The
Yeah.
girls are doing tremendously brilliant in this. How amazing it is to see. One of my
They-
student has developed a robotic machinery which is extremely brilliant in sensing the health of anybody without pricking. Like if you want to check sugar, we have to prick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
don't have to do anything. We just put our hand inside the machine and it detects everything. The girl brilliant.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Another girl of mine, mine means I really consider all students as my kids. So another student of mine, another kid of mine, she prepared a go-kart, a robotic run automobile, four-wheeler, which can
Yes.
assure the life safety and can run with speed with a good
Yeah.
ground clearance.
Mm.
Again, another girl of mine. So nowadays, what's your understanding? The robotic industry has opened its arms for even the girls of the nation, girls aspirants.
Definitely, ma'am. I mean, let's not put this way that it is the gender related things and all. It is actually, and it's an opportunity which is equally available for everybody. And then in many segments, actually, when it comes to a neat and clean work, or maybe a work which required a more continuous efforts and all, girls do well. Actually, those kind of things are there. But I wanted to add to the few work which you just mentioned, the without pricking or maybe the arms and all. What I'm saying is there's an area where which needs a certain attention. It's in medical industry of in India. So we do read a lot of article in the paper. There's a limited number of doctors, and government is actually trying to open more and more medical colleges, and that's where the more doctors will be prepared and all. But what we do as in science grades or student engineering students, and how can we help that particular industry so that our country will not suffer, or will be prepared for more number of doctors, or maybe will be prepared for any kind of calamity if less number of doctors are there. So let me give you a few examples. For example, some of your students, they prepare automated bed. You go to the hospital, an older hospital, they'll just roll it out and then the bed will get lifted and the patient will lift. Why it is required? You can do motorized, you can do through app and all. So right from the bedding to the injection or to the tablets, or for all, there are n number of things area available in medical science where automation is still pending and needs to be done. We take pride that we have done some robot who can do surgery. That is very peculiar thing, and it is required only out of 1,000 cases, only one case required surgery. But 999 cases are required where surgery is not there, and you could have done some robotics to save doctors 5 minutes. If you save one doctor's 5 minutes, he can attend more patients. Same doctor can attend more
He can
patients.
save more lives in those 5 minutes remaining.
Yes, yes. So
Great.
it's a very big area where I mean, being an electronics engineer or AI engineer or computer science engineer, they can actually go and contribute to that area, that segment. Let's not feel like I am computer engineer, so I should not work for medical science. You also can contribute. Yeah.
Correct. So that opened up my mind in one more area.
Yeah.
Even robotics and automation of the processes is doing a huge contribution in fashion industry as well.
Yeah.
Fashion, VFX, animation,
Yeah.
studios. I mean, look at the effects coming in the attire all of a sudden. People are making beautiful designs every now and then. We have
Definitely.
printing etching machines. It has come up beautifully. And the similar way, the visual effects coming in our movies right now. Amazing, sir.
Yeah, so I do not come from this fashion industry or the garment industry or whatever you are mentioning, but I have seen recently so few e-commerce company who sells their goods online and all, and they have used the power of automation robots and all. just to make sure that the moment you actually log into their website and then you upload your 100% health, height, width and all photographs and all, they will actually show you like whether how will that cloth or that
Look on you.
look on you. So you will save a lot of time to go and actually wear that cloth, change again, no, it is not looking good and all those things you can save time. So that kind of things are happening. Though I am not from that industry, but I'm just mentioning that.
But sir, look at it, like even in the schools now, right from the third standard, students are making robots.
Yeah.
Imagine what we were doing in third standard, I don't remember.
Ma'am, we used to make home as a project and then make two windows.
That paper project, no? I say
Correct, correct. We
cardboard
used
and
to
all
do
that.
that, yeah.
So now imagine if the kids are doing at the age of at the standard of third and fourth. So the entire STEM education is accepting robotics as the new edge
Definitely,
technology. So imagine if the people who are coming at the graduate level with BTech automation and robotics, they have a huge contribution to make. They have a sky as the limit now.
definitely. The only problem with them is they are if you compare versus what kids are getting educated in school nowadays, right from nursery class, third class, fourth, and then that they will be knowing basics once they'll come to 12th and all. But the age, like let's say in your college, if somebody comes in first year and they already passed 12th, they have not seen that journey. So for them, it's an age where they have to put little extra effort to come to a level and then contribute it. So that is an extra weight on their shoulder, but it's only for this age. After that, that will be automatically taken care. And that we faced it when computer came. So if we were in an industry, so we have to learn computer and then contribute. But nowadays, any kids or the students who's coming to college, they know words, they know Excel, they know PowerPoint, they know from the school itself. So you need not to teach that. So that's how it goes.
Wonderful, sir. Sir, correct me. How much am I correct to say that robotics gives a new dimension to AI/ML?
Robotics gives new dimension. What did you say?
Robotics give new dimension to AI/ML. That means nowadays everybody wants to learn AI/ML. Agree totally. But when it gets embedded with robots, with machinery, the outputs are immense.
Yeah, outputs are definitely immense. Whenever machine learning or the AI is actually used, so it's all data driven. Let's try to understand these things with a human behavior. How do we improvise our behavior, our way of talking, and all? We improvise when we go and give more and more presentation, more and more talk. So that's how our way of talking get improvised. So it is based on a lot of data which goes inside our minds. Okay, that day I did that mistake. I should not do the same mistake again and again. So similarly, the artificial intelligence or the data, the lots of data which one particular robot does, and if it gets correction, so it automatically gets smoothen up. So that's what I'm saying. So it's all human element which is already gone into the robots.
That's great. That's great. I'm really glad, sir, you have joined the conversation and guided a lot of our participants. I'm getting a lot of questions. So I'll just write these questions one after the other, though you have answered majority of the questions to you. So sometimes offline, I'll write to you and ask you all the answers. So with this, thank you so much. I request our director, Dr. Ashish Khera, sir, to please present a word of thanks to Manoj Modi, sir, for sharing his precious time and contribution to us.
Okay, first of all, I am thankful to Mr. Manoj Modi, sir, for giving his valuable time and sharing his valuable experience. Here we have discussed about the automation that solves the various issues of daily life, whether it is related to cleaning to industrial applications. And we also discussed that how robotics, the integration of robotics and AI ML is doing amazing thing in the field of automation. Now, actually, okay, and we have also discussed about the how Gen AI and robotics are helping the industry, sir. So overall, I'm thankful to you, sir, for giving your time and sharing your knowledge. I hope we will be in touch in future also for our
Thank you.
future collaboration in terms of internships, placements, and technical collaborations. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming, sir.
Thank you so much. And you are students and you are most welcome. Anytime you can visit our center and see if any of, because it's very difficult to get some deep tech startup in Indore area. I mean, always people feel like it has to be in Silicon Valley of India, that they have to go to Bangalore to see those kind of things, but you can see in Indore as well.
Yes, we will definitely come, sir, to meet you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your time.
Thank you, ma'am.
so
Thank you.
much.
It was wonderful discussion with you. Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye-bye, sir.
Very good.
Bye bye.